This is the difference between an agent who gets a deal and an agent who doesn't.
And that's the thing that people miss. They're not asking the next question.
Maybe you should know what to say next.
Don't give people a reason not to show up for the showings.
This call was about as much fun as paying a parking ticket. Cash call, everybody. Dale Archdekin and Brian Curtis back again. I want to see what's going on out there on the street with regard to sales calls. Brian, what about you?
I love it. It's, Dale, just like you, I'm not as active in real estate anymore. I'm not in the trenches to know what's going on out there. So it's actually a really good insight and a great opportunity to actually get to listen to some of these things and see what kind of objections people are facing, what kind of ideas people have, because I'd like to tell you everything's the same all the time, but it's not. What's new and exciting, and how do we deal with it, right?
Yeah. The funny thing is I have this call today from a student. On the surface, it sounds like he's got a perfect intro. There's one word in the intro that screws up this call. And I heard it screw up a couple of other calls for him. And we'll see if you can pick it up, okay, as we're listening to it.
Man, I feel like that's going to be a test. Okay, I'll see if I can pass.
All right. Yeah. All right, good. So I'll play mine and then we'll talk about it.
Hello.
Hello. You were on my website, wondering if you're looking to move in the next couple of months or just checking what's on the market.
Not a terrible intro, right?
No.
Let's see how it goes. Let's
Okay.
see what screwed this up.
I'm planning on moving in probably at the end of August.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds exciting.
That's not who that is.
So that's great. What kind of a place are you looking for?
I'm looking for a house with 3 bedrooms and 1.5 baths.
Right. Condo or townhome or?
A townhome.
Okay. Well, that's terrific. I could, well, tell me a little more. Have you been looking long, or is it just something that's come up?
Oh, I've been looking, and I've gone out and I've looked and I've applied, and seems I don't qualify for anything. So
Oh, really? Have you spoken to a lender?
no, I haven't spoken to a lender. I'm not buying a home. I'm renting.
Hey, there we go. We're a minute and 20 seconds into this conversation. So, Brian, where did the intro script screw up our call?
I can't remember the exact phrase he said, but my question is, are you just window shopping? And I'm guessing that that's where it is, because shopping implies potentially purchasing something, whereas just looking might be what was rent. So I would say that the word that they might want to use instead of whatever word they use is shopping, but I don't know.
Let me play it again.
Okay, please. I'm feeling pressure, but I'll figure it out.
I'm going to play it again.
You were on my website, wondering if you're looking to move in the next couple of months or just checking what's on the market.
Looking to move in the next couple months.
Or just checking what's on the market, yeah.
Instead of, are you looking to buy in the next few months? Move instead of buy.
And it's interesting. I would say that some people would want to say move because it makes it less aggressive, but it also doesn't give you the right information.
Right.
Really?
Exactly.
I mean, it does eventually, but...
Yeah. So we ended up with a minute 20 conversation that was headed the wrong direction. And so that's why, I just want to point out that even the agent, when I reviewed this with him, and he's used that script numerous times, and a couple of times it screwed up the conversation where it turned out that somebody was renting and it wasn't clicking for him until I pointed it out. And I said, well, you're getting the answer that you asked for.
Yep.
I just don't think that you're asking the right question. So, the script that I use is, are you planning on buying in the next few months, or are you just window shopping, which is what you asked, right?
Yeah.
Or he could say checking the market or just looking around. It doesn't really matter what the kicker is or what the objection is. It's really just like, here's an objection that a lot of people give. Would you like to give that one back? Which means I'm not ready or I don't know, right?
And I will say this, though. I have taken that script, and full disclosure, I stole it from you. So I'm not afraid to take something that Dale does. He's pretty good at this. So, but I added to it, I always use window shopping. And the reason I always do is at the end of the script, I'll ask people, hey, you mentioned at the beginning you were just window shopping. And then I tell a little story about how I went and I window shopped online for a television. I couldn't figure out which one I wanted. And surely a house is more important than a television. I go through this whole thing and basically asked them, why don't we just go do some window shopping? And so I need that at the end of my script because it sets up at the beginning of my script because it sets up the end.
I love that. Yeah, I love that because similar to that, Brian, we teach a strategy like that when you're trying to get people to go out and look at houses with you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of buyers sit on their couch waiting for what they think is the perfect home to come across, and sometimes don't want to go look at something or don't want to go see anything until they find that unicorn on the internet.
Right.
And so we use something exactly similar to what you're doing to get them off that couch and get them out there window shopping with us.
Yeah, I think it's important to get into their head and say, look, the internet's freaking great. Pictures are so much better, but, this is different. Like, if you can't even buy a television online, do you really think you can buy a house online? Or do you really understand what's going on? And I use the term, all I want you to do is go out and see what your dollar will actually buy you. Oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. And the reason I want it more than anything else, and I think it's probably the same with you, Dale, is there's so many people who won't buy a house until they see one in person. All of a sudden, they see one in person and everything changes for them. It's like the internet's not real. It's just some pictures on their computer or on their phone, and they go in person. They're like, man, this is okay. I can do this. And it matters. Like, if you got somebody who's willing to look at a house, even if they're 6, 8, 10, 12 months out, show them the property because there's a chance that timeline will shrink almost instantly. So I also want to say this about this call as we were playing it. One of the things that I noticed, and I don't know if the guy was thrown off. I don't know if this was a normal call for him, but in the middle, it sounded like, I don't know what to say. Tell me more.
When she said, yeah, I'm looking to do something by X, he was like, haven't heard this one before. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking to move by date X. That shouldn't be a stumper.
No, should not be at all. I don't know what you would do. I'll shoot this. Somebody says, I'm looking to move by X date. I'm going to say, oh, great. That's what's important about moving by then. I just want to know. Yeah, I'm just going to follow that line of thinking. What would you do?
Well, it depends. So today's August 1st. So I don't know how old this call is. This call 6 months old, a week old, 2 weeks, But if somebody told me they want to move by the end of August, and buying, because I'm like this guy, I'm not interested in a renter, but assuming that they're buying, I would probably tell them, well, I guess we better go look at houses this afternoon because you need to be, but yeah. So, for what purpose that's the kind of thing is, I think it's a really good question in that scenario. Like, what is driving you to move by August? Now, if it's so close, I still want to know why they want to move. And at the end of the day, I really got to, I have an opportunity to create urgency. Like, look, Susie, I don't remember what her name was, but, here's the reality. It's August 1st or it's July 15th. It takes about 30 days to close. If you're really, really good, you can close in 20 days. So if we can close in 20 days, that means we got 10 days to find you a house. So I've got time this afternoon. You want to look at some houses? Like, I'm going to create some urgency if I can.
It's funny you pointed out that he didn't know what to do when she said she was looking to do something, because I was thinking of you. I was like, oh man, Brian's going to be like, maybe you should know what to say next. You should have that prepared.
Because that's not an objection. Like, that's what you want. Like, she gave the perfect script if she'd have been a buyer instead of a renter.
Yeah, so just be prepared, right? Practice. Come to our classes and practice. Okay, now I want to finish playing this because I want you to hear what happens.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
And it's not that exciting, but it makes me a little annoyed.
No, I haven't spoken to a lender. I'm not buying a home, I'm renting.
Oh, you're looking to rent. I thought
Yes.
you were interested in buying.
Well, I am interested in buying, but I don't have money to put down, so I'm not going to be able to handle any interest rates.
I understand. Well, rent, there's rental properties. I don't do the rentals myself. I have someone that does them for me, rentscene.com. I can send you, if you want their phone number or their email address, I can do that to you.
That's fine. You can email me it.
Yeah, I'll do that and see how it works out with them. I'm sure they can help you find what you're looking for.
All right, so he just bails, right? Now, here's my point about this. Are more people answering the phone these days or less people answering the phone?
My experience is significantly less, not less, but significantly less.
Significantly less people are answering the phone today.
Mm-hmm.
Sales is a numbers game. I have to have a lot of interactions to ask a lot of people if they want to buy or sell real estate now or in the future in order to put deals together. Yeah.
I agree.
This
Absolutely.
lady said she wants to buy a house, but has been can't afford it, right? And is now looking to rent. So this salesperson just accepted those answers as though this woman had done the best possible job at getting the best information on whether she could achieve that goal or not, and he rolled over and died. That's my point.
100%. There's a perfect question to be asked there, and I'll let you go, but there's a perfect question to be asked.
Go for it. What's the perfect question?
Besides the down payment, is there any other reason you wouldn't want to buy a house? Was the question I wanted to ask, because she said something about interest. I don't think I understood it, which again, I want to dig on, but I heard her say, I have no down payment. So besides the down payment, is there any other reason you wouldn't want to buy a house? No. Okay. What can you afford on a monthly basis? You can afford something she's about to rent.
Right.
I can afford 2,000. Yeah.
You got to have money for rent.
Right. Yeah. Rent isn't free. That's not it's not pay a mortgage or live free. Those aren't the two options.
And she didn't say my credit sucks. She said, I don't have money for a down payment.
Right.
Now I don't know what lender she talked to or whether she talked to one. When he said, have you spoken to a lender? She said, oh, I'm not buying. She probably hasn't spoken to a lender. She probably used a stupid calculator online and thinks that she doesn't have enough money to put down. Now, maybe that's the case, but the point
we don't know.
Yeah. So this is, and I want to point this out to everybody listening. This is the difference between an agent who gets a deal and an agent who doesn't. This fruit had a whole lot more juice to squeeze out of it, and this agent let it go. If you or me gets that fruit, we're going to squeeze that thing dry, right? Until it is absolutely clear that you cannot or will not purchase real estate now or in the future.
Yeah. It's interesting. I haven't known this in a long time. It's about 5-6 years ago, because I don't live in my market center anymore. But I actually came into the office. I was like, I got to get some of my agents really getting it. I said, I'm going to sit and make phone calls in the office. I'm not working these. I'm going to give them to whoever happens to be there if I get one, because I don't want to go sell a house. I don't want to do that. So anyway, I was in the thing, and this woman I called this woman, and she was just in the list of names I had, and she's like, yeah, I've got to wait because my husband has a 550 credit score, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. I said, how much a house are you looking to buy? She's looking to buy like $150,000 house. At the time, you could actually buy those, because this is a long time ago. And she's like, yeah, but my husband's credit sucks. And I was like, okay, well, out of curiosity, how much money do you make? She's like, I make $125,000 a year. She wanted to buy a $150,000 house. And I'm like, I think we can help you. And I spent about—
We don't need your husband.
No. And basically they bought a house. Their husband signed the contract, but wasn't on the mortgage. So they got what they wanted. And I know she's had talked to multiple agents before that. I know she had talked to multiple lenders before that. It's finding out, just digging deeper, because this woman, I mean, I don't know where she lives. It doesn't really matter. But like the majority of places now, you can do some kind of down payment assistance programs. They have grants. They have all these different things. And like we do a lot of USDA RD. Well, that's 100% financing. And I don't know if you've ever had this call, Dale, as an agent, or have reviewed it, but like I've heard people, I've been on the phone with somebody, yeah, I'm saving for a down payment. And the agent goes, okay, great. That, when you save the down payment, I go, what exactly are you saving for? Well, I got to have 20% down, don't I? No, but how much do you have saved? Oh, I got like $10,000. I'm like, let's go look at some houses, because you can buy it 3.5% down FHA all day long. And that's the thing that people miss. They're not asking the next question. They just keep moving on.
Yep, exactly. And I'll say this call, and I've worked with this student specifically is a little bit stuck on buy, not buy, right? A little too black and white, a little too like, it's not the pitch straight down the middle. I don't know what to do about it.
Got to learn to hit the curveball.
Man, like most of them are curveballs. You know what I mean? Like if you want to do more deals, you got to figure out how to knock the dust off of a lot of stuff. And so in working with him, it's like, okay, here's what we're doing. You've got to, one, make sure that whoever tells you that they can't do it now or with you or under these circumstances, make sure that you agree with every piece of information that went into that decision making. Don't just take it at face value. Go over the facts again and determine whether or not it truly cannot and should not happen. because in some cases you can change it, just like you were saying.
And the key is isolating the objection there for me, because that is an objection. I don't have a down payment is an objection, right?
No. Well, yeah.
It is.
But that one doesn't even, she has desire. She thinks she doesn't have ability, but doesn't even know. Like, I don't even hear that objection. I'm like, yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, I hear it as an objection that I need to handle. And what I mean by that is I need to find out what that means. So we're saying the same thing. We're just looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah. I have no down payment. Okay. My very first question, it is funny when people say that sometimes, again, that 20% down thing, now it's going away because it's more of an older generation. You actually did need 20% down.
It used to be a lot more common.
And, so it's not, you're not going to knock it out of the park with what I'm about to say. Oh, every person's going to go and magically they all have down payments. I'm not saying that, but maybe 1 out of 10 does. I don't know about you, but I'll take an extra deal. And that's what it is. And that's what Dale's talking about. If you're only hitting the down the middle pitch, you're not doing yourself service. And it's worse today than it's ever been before. Because again, I don't get to talk to as many people, which means I really need to do better with the people I'm talking to.
Absolutely. All right. What do you got for us, Brian?
I've got one of those phone calls that on its surface, it seems pretty good. Get an appointment, we do all that kind of stuff, but it feels like there's so much missed here and so much mishandled here. And so that's really where I'm at. I'm going to actually hit the share button this week instead of the leave button so that I don't leave you guys.
Hi, I was just wanting to schedule a showing tonight for the property.
Okay, let me see what they have available. They have very weird short windows. Though the only time they have available today is at 2:45.
Okay, what about tomorrow?
And then it's completely blocked off for tomorrow. So I would have to call the agent and see if they have any availability tomorrow, which I'm totally happy to do.
Okay, I'll just hit pause because you're smiling and laughing, and I know you have a comment, and I do too. So
yeah. So one, never mention, quote, the agent, right? Because of the people who think they should only work with a listing agent. When you mention the agent, they immediately are like, you're not the one to talk to. Mm-hmm. That's one. Two, here's the standard protocol for I want to see a house. Brian, tell me you want to go see a house today.
Dale, I'd like to go see a house today at 2:00.
Oh, that's great. 2:00. Okay, great. I'm going to check with the seller, see if that works for them. If not, are there any other times or days that would work for you?
Yeah, next week would be great.
Next week. Great. I'm going to nail down the day and time. Fantastic. All right, Brian. So I'll reach out to the sellers, make sure that works for them. Just out of curiosity, how long have you been looking?
Right. And we're going to go and do discovery and we're good.
Yes. I'm not looking up the damn house and telling you that the times are limited and all that other nonsense. I need to have a discovery call with you. My purpose as a salesperson, when an inbound call comes, before you do anything else, you're going to book that appointment, even if it's just an imaginary appointment because it can't happen. You're going to book it tentatively, right? And then you're going to determine, is this person a viable, willing, and able buyer or seller before you do anything else?
I agree. 100%. Because it doesn't matter if they can't afford to pay attention, if they're a renter, it doesn't matter.
If they have an agent they are deeply committed to and already signed a contract with.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. We actually dealt with this last week. We got in a fight with another agent with another brokerage because she went out of town, didn't bother to help her client. We asked the right question. Are you working with somebody? Do you have a buyer agent agreement signed? Nope, we don't have a buyer agent agreement. She did, but that's not our fault. And ultimately the other agent was like freaking out on us. We're like, look, but here's the thing. It was interesting. The other agent had her sign buyer agency agreements for every single house. We had have a buyer agency agreement for the house that we showed. And we actually wrote an offer. We offered to pay him 25%. She didn't get the house, but it was super interesting to watch this other agent squirm around. Like, you didn't do your job. Like, if you're going to go out of town, if you're watching this, if you're going to go out of town, if you don't have somebody else in your office that can show houses for you, find a friend who works at another brokerage. But you do not want to leave your buyer on an island, say, don't worry about it. You can see houses in a week when I get back. I mean, can you imagine that? If you wanted to go buy something, come back in a week. Like, we don't live in that world anymore.
Let's just quickly address the buyer agency agreement.
Okay.
Good for that agent for getting them signed. Here's my advice, at least, and you'll probably agree. If you have to sign one property specific buyer agency agreement in order to get face to face with that person, do it. After that, you need to get them onto a longer buyer agency agreement because you're going to be investing your time and energy and expertise in this person. And you should be able to ask them to make a commitment to you. If you have to keep doing it house by house by house, they're probably one of these kind of people that will throw you under the bus when you're not around.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm going to tell my client kind of what Dale said. Look, guys, I'm happy to come meet you and show your house. You're happy to test drive me. Not everybody likes me. I'm okay with that. And if I'm going to continue to work with you, then we're going to make a commitment that you want to work with me and I want to work with you. It's just a fair thing. Like, I'm surely, where do you work at? I work at such and such place. Perfect. I'm sure you don't want to go to work for the next 3 weeks and find out that you didn't get paid. And it's not a lot to ask, I think. So if you're willing to work with me, I'm willing to work with you. By the way, I also have a 0 cancellation policy. So if I don't perform at the level that you expect, just call me and fire me. We include that in ours, which actually helps us get them signed. And here's the thing, guys. The only time you get fired is when you are either working with a jerk and you want to be fired anyway, or if you didn't do your job. If you went out of town and didn't bother to tell your client, call Dale because I'm out of town this week, that's on you.
Yeah, I agree. Got to make those plans. Funny, you mentioned that this call sounds like it's going okay. Do you mean because the woman wanted an appointment and the agent's trying to accommodate? Like, it seems like it would be okay on the surface?
Yeah, the outcome is we get an appointment, which if you take 100 agents, put them in a room, and you ask them what the purpose of making phone calls is to make an appointment. And I agree with that. And that doesn't mean that we didn't miss all kinds of opportunities to make sure we get the next appointment also.
And or give opportunities for us to lose this one based on what we said.
Here, Gus.
Hold on
That's
just
okay.
a second.
What about next week? I don't know if tomorrow would work anyway.
Okay. What day next week are you thinking?
So you can start with Monday evening.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. She sets the appointment.
I will call or text you back whenever they get back with me just to confirm that. Once we get off the phone here, I will shoot you a text message that'll have all of my direct contact information in it. I'll have my phone number, email, all of that stuff in it. So you have my direct phone number. You don't have to call through realtor.com. And then on the phone, they said that you're working on a pre-approval. Are you already working with a lender, or do you need somebody to talk to?
Yeah, I have a lender.
Okay. So for me, I have a lender is not an acceptable answer. And the reason I say that is you don't have to use my lender. I want you to use my lender. It's a much better experience for all of us. But if you have Billy Bob's Lending and that's going to screw our deal up, I want to let you know, hey, I really appreciate that. I've worked with Billy Bob before, and Billy Bob is a nice guy and he sucks at his job. I would say it much nicer than that. But you should go talk to this person and at least get a different opinion. And I'm telling you that people are like, well, they're pre-approved. They're good. I'm telling you, there are people out there that you do not want them working with. You won't close.
Absolutely.
So don't give up on the lender thing. Too many agents are lazy on that. Oh, it's a lender. That's not my job. I agree. But it's the thing that's going to keep you from getting paid. So maybe
it can affect your deal. It can delay your deal. It's important. It is, whether or not it's your job is,
it's not your job.
I think it's the wrong question. Whether it's not your job, but can it directly impact your ability to get paid? Yes or no? The answer is yes.
And Dale, you've been around real estate like me forever. And the truth of the matter is everybody theoretically in the transaction is responsible for their part of the transaction. The lender, the title company, all the other vendors that we work with. And we all know 100% of it falls back on us.
Of course. And frankly, my paycheck is the only one I care about. Right. That's the highest and best priority is my paycheck.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to make sure that we're working with a good title company that knows what they're doing, that doesn't put extra work on my plate, that we're working with a good lender who knows what they're doing and isn't going to blow up the deal. Because, once you get somebody under agreement, if it blows up, you have a high percentage of chance of losing that client or them changing their mind and not transacting again.
the latter happens more often than I think people think, because they get frustrated and it's irritating, and especially if they were trying to get lending done and it wouldn't, because the feeling is if lender A isn't going to help me, lender B isn't going to help me either, and that's not necessarily true. But I mean, I've had stuff like this happen, Dale. I had a deal that didn't close on time because the lender didn't order the appraisal until 2 days before closing. I called and I was on the phone with them. They're like, well, we have a really fast underwriting department. I'm like, what if there's a problem with the appraisal? Like, I appreciate that, and that you can technically close 2 days after you get an appraisal. I appreciate that. And we're almost guaranteeing something's going to go wrong.
Right. You're asking for it.
Yeah. And it did. It went wrong. They didn't get it done on time. So yeah, the lender matters, I guess, is really my point. And it might be my own personal bias, but I just really think it's important. So hear a little bit more.
You have a lender already? Okay. And who will be coming to the showing with you? Is it just going to be you, or are you going to bring somebody with you?
It'll be me and my husband.
I would a little smoother on that question, but I like that she's not.
I was waiting for her to say my agent.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what's your husband's name?
Trevor Stober.
She's taking notes.
Okay. And what's the best way to communicate? Do you like phone calls, text messages? What's the best way to communicate with you?
Probably just text messages.
I'm okay with that question, by the way, but there's only one reason I'm okay with it is she didn't include email. Frustrates me when you offer email as an option for communication. You might as well just write the lead off. But go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, I'm thinking something else. This is too dry. It feels like feels like a physical, right? Turn your head and cough, please. We need a little warmth in here. Like, there needs to be a little. The lead is very and the agent is right. And so I want to hear the agent try to break up this pattern a little bit, and get a little emotion from the lead into this conversation to get them more engaged in the conversation.
I agree.
Okay. And you don't have any other realtors that you're working with at this time?
No, I don't.
Okay, perfect. All right. I will text you back and let you know for sure what works. This one, let's see. It is in probate, which means that it's kind of going through a little.
Why? So if I hear that, I might go, well, shit, I don't want to buy that house. Not because there's anything wrong with the house, but because you said probate. Probate equals to me, there's a problem. It's in a court. I may not be able to close for months on end. I'm running away. Don't give people a reason not to show up for the showing.
No need for that.
Litigation right now. Sounds like usually whenever you hit probate, somebody's passed away and families fighting over who gets the house. As to when I think that's going to be settled. What is your time frame that you're looking to find something?
So, Brian, this is for my team leaders, trainers listening to this right now. You take this call and you play this portion with the agent, and you say, agent, what were you thinking about when you did this? Did you have a purpose for doing this? One, were you just filling dead air because you didn't know what to do? Or two, did you think that you were providing a service by telling her these things? And so I like to ask the salesperson where their head was at, because I want them to rewire whatever it was, whatever the thought pattern was, or whatever the approach was that caused them to do that. I find it sticks better when you're training somebody if you can get them to review their own game tape and tell you what they were thinking, rather than just saying, don't do that.
So if you're doing that, what you're doing is making them 100% dependent on you. You're not making them think so that next time, because is this exact scenario going to happen again, Dale? It's not.
Yeah.
Something similar is going to happen to it. And what we want you to do is take what you learned here and shift it over here. If the team leader just goes, don't do this, the person goes, okay, I don't do this one thing. Well, that one thing never even happens again. And they didn't do what we refer to in NLP as a lateral chunk. You have to take the information and apply it elsewhere. If you don't think about it, if you're just a rote, I don't do this, I do this, you're not going to get it.
Probably in the next couple months.
Okay.
By the way, first discovery we did.
Yeah. How long into this call are we?
Oh, goodness. I don't know, about 3 minutes. It's about a 4-minute call. We're 3 minutes old.
Not exactly the first discovery. She did ask who else was coming to the showing. And
second piece of discovery. Fair enough. We got who.
Piece of discovery.
Mm-hmm. But also, it wasn't I don't believe that if she wouldn't have read that thing about probate, that she would have been triggered to ask about the timing.
Maybe.
If you listen to her, she goes, oh, and this could possibly be a house that might not be able to be sold for a period of time because of the people fighting over it. And what that triggered was, hey, by the way, when do you need to move? If this house wouldn't have been in probate, I don't think we would have asked the question. All right, we just got another minute, and then we can move on.
And are you guys currently renting? Do you own the house that you're
we're
in
right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you guys in a lease, or are you just doing month to month?
Yeah, we're in a lease.
And when does that get over with?
I think that it will be in like April next year.
Okay.
I just want the audience to know it is July that this call is being made. So this is not a short lease that they're about to break or what she says here.
But you're wanting to buy in the next couple of months. Are you going to be able to end your lease?
I'm going to have someone else take over the lease.
Okay, you're going to sublease it. Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, like I said, I'll get you all that information here in just a little bit. Your first text message that you get from me will be just my direct contact information in it. And then the second text will be just a confirmation of the showing that we have set for Monday at 6 o'clock.
I'm going to stop sharing that. That's enough.
This call was about as much fun as paying a parking ticket.
Right. But again, on its surface, we've got a person who's going to show up on Monday to see a house. And again, if you ask somebody on the surface, is it a good call if you call somebody and you book an appointment for the first available appointment, is that a good call? Yes, on its surface, that's right. I have no idea what this person is. By the way, here's another thing. I don't know if I would have gone over it in the thing or not. The chance of this person being able to sublease their property is somewhere between little and none. No lease that I've seen on a residential property in the last 5 years has a sublease option.
Not likely. I would want to investigate that more. I'm really more challenged by the fact that this call was zero fun for anybody, right? What do I mean by that? I just mean like on paper, it checked the boxes. She got the job done, but I don't like it. I don't feel like I like the agent. I don't feel like I like the lead. I don't feel like they like each other. Because there was no rapport, there was no synergy, there was no chemistry, there was nothing. You know, as a salesperson, this is something I've had to learn. I've literally had to learn this over the years because I'm like a driver. I didn't start out being a big people person. People have to effing like you to usually do business with you and to stick with you through hard things. And so, you know, to get somebody glued to you a little bit more, there needs to be a little warmth, a little bit of chemistry, even if you have to manufacture it. You need it in your conversation, especially with a brand new lead.
Well, and there was so many opportunities. So let's talk about that. Like, hey, we want to go see this house. Awesome. Are you guys first-time home buyers or do you currently own? Oh, we're first-time home buyers. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Well, so what's got you moving? That's pretty exciting. Like buying your first house is pretty exciting. What's got you guys, ready to make that move? Anything specific? What do people like to talk about, Dale?
Themselves.
Absolutely. And you notice I didn't even have to worry about whether Dale knew the answer to that question or not. That's what people like to talk about.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Please.
Almost everybody likes to talk about themselves. Usually the people who don't like to talk about themselves are either generally like introverts and uncomfortable with it, or they don't feel comfortable with you.
Yes.
Otherwise, damn near everybody likes to talk about themselves. And when you get them to do it, they like you better.
There's a great book, and it's older than Dale and I put together, I think, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
And, books get old and people are like, oh, that's old. But one of the fundamental premises of that book is Dale Carnegie is the author of the book, and he goes to a party at the beginning of the book, and he does not tell anybody anything about himself. All he does is ask questions, and the story goes is that he got all these cards. Again, this is literally written in the early 1900s, like 1920 something, I think it was written. Yeah. He literally gets cards thanking him for being such a great conversationalist. And that's one of my favorite things. When I got that, I was like, so I don't actually have to talk, because I don't particularly like to, believe it or not. And so all I have to do is ask them a question, and then they'll say stuff, and they'll think that I'm a great conversationalist. Shit, that's what I'll do. I'll just keep asking questions. By the way, the person who asks questions is the person in charge. There's never a bad time to be asking questions.
Yeah, it's funny, man. There's a lot of people, and I used to be one of these, that would talk to try to get people to like you. And it's actually way easier if you don't. and you just ask questions and get them to talk about themselves, and they'll like you much better.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Be genuine.
if you are genuinely interested or able to fake it well enough,
I would suggest we try and work on the first one because most of us aren't good enough faking it.
Start with genuine.
Yeah.
So, I've had to actually learn techniques to be present with people when they're talking because I am a driver.
Me too.
And so my natural operating system is always like me, get on with it. I want to focus on me again. And so I have to slow myself down sometimes. If I'm not naturally interested in what somebody's saying, I have to slow down and remind myself, like, be present with this person so that I can be present for that genuine interaction. So for those of you listening out there, it's actually a technique that you can practice if it doesn't come natural.
Yeah, I believe we can practice anything. And I think that that's a misnomer that we have out in society. There's a great book, if anyone ever wants to read it, it's called Peak by Erickson and Poole. And in the book, they talk about mastery. And one of the things they talk about is perfect pitch. I don't know if you know, in other words, someone could sing on perfect pitch. They hear music, and that was considered a gift. And I believe it is a gift, but they also took a bunch of kids and they taught them to have perfect pitch. So I've heard salespeople, well, that guy's just a natural salesperson and I can never do that. Bullshit. It's a process. If you follow the process, you can learn to do just about anything. Now, again, I'm not going to probably learn at 53 years old to dunk a basketball. I'm 5'8". Probably not going to happen.
I don't think that's in your cards.
It isn't. And so that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying here you can just do some miraculous thing. But what we do, we talk to people. Like, you can learn to be better at talking to people. You don't have to, that's a skill set we all have. If you have a mouth that works and ears that work, you can develop that skill set, in my opinion.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Dale Archdekin and Brian Curtis will be back again for Cash Call. If you found that helpful and you want some advice on your own calls, your own sales conversations, then just click the link below and you can fill out an application to be a guest on the Cash Call podcast. And all you need to do is submit some calls and I'll listen to those and give you immediate actionable feedback that you can use to improve your sales conversations. Or if you're looking for training, also the link below is access to some of our free training resources.